about community, learning, discussion, respect, integrity, truth, science, and discovery. Welcome to My Paranormal Soapbox. Hello, and welcome to My Paranormal Soapbox. I am your friendly neighborhood ghost hunter, Justin Brown, and welcome to episode 15. We are already 15 of these shows in, and it's really cool to see all the interest that we have for the show and all the support we've been getting on Patreon and all the viewing support and sharing support as well. So that is really cool. This is a landmark event for me. Tonight we are simultaneously streaming the Soapbox Show on Facebook and on the Interface Death YouTube channel at the same time, which is cool. Now, theoretically, the Facebook comments and the YouTube comments are all supposed to be fed into this website service, and you should see your comments pop up on the screen. If you don't see your comments from Facebook, I'm sorry, but we will get to your comments. If you have any comments or questions, please jot them down. We will get to them when we can. We will go over to our chat moderators for Facebook and YouTube tonight and say what's up to everybody over there. What's up, Jess and Missy? Are you guys ready to do this Facebook and YouTube thing at the same time? It's a paranormal party now, right? All right. If you guys have any questions for me throughout the show, at any time, please write them down in the comments section, and we will get to them. I will have to take turns with Jess and Missy to go back and forth. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, but we should get through it. So Facebook and YouTube land, let me have it, and we'll get to them when we can. So I'll get back to you girls, okay? All right, guys. The topic that you guys voted on this whole last week was ghost hunting versus paranormal investigating, which is what this topic tonight is going to be about, right? So the other one that you voted on was all-female glamour groups. The all-female groups that all get, prettied up and all the makeup and the cleavage showing. That one was very close, so we're going to vote on that one again. There's a lot of interest in that topic as well, because I guess a lot of people want me to know what I have to say about that, and they may have something to say about that. But this week, we're going to talk about ghost hunting versus paranormal investigation. So, interesting topic, right? Everybody, I see you all in the chat. We will shout you out here in a few moments, or after I kind of give an intro to my opinions on the subject matter for tonight. So, hold tight. All right. Okay. When I first started 5 years ago into the field research, I didn't really distinguish between ghost hunting and paranormal investigation. It really didn't mean anything to me. I know that the show Ghost Hunters was out there. I knew that paranormal investigator and paranormal researcher was a term, but I thought it was all generally the same thing. So over the years I've been doing this and engaging the paranormal community online, social media, there seems to be some kind of polarization of the terms, and people started to distinguish the two as different. Okay, I think generally people think that people who call themselves ghost hunters are less skeptical, less objective, maybe do it as a hobby or as a passion or for fun. Even you could say doing it as a thrill, to have some type of entertainment value out of it. All those things are fine to me. Now let's get that off my chest really quick, okay? If you want to go out and ghost hunt for fun, I think that's perfectly fine. If you want to do it for a hobby, perfectly fine. If you want to, do it for whatever reason that's ethical, and all these things I deem ethical in my opinion, that's fine to me. When it comes to calling yourself a paranormal researcher investigator, there seems to be a general difference in what I see in the community as well. You kind of take it more seriously. You're a little bit more or a lot more skeptical. Okay. You're a lot more objective. You start to learn a lot more things that are not paranormal, and you focus on trying to discover things that are not paranormal, alternate explanations. So you are more critical and have more critical thinking when you go about your paranormal research. Okay. So we've seen a division. We've seen people, I've seen people, I'm sure you have too at some point, try to kind of get up on a soapbox or rant a little bit about, people who call themselves ghost hunters and why they're different, and maybe how they don't like, people that are, less skeptical and less objective and do it kind of as a hobby. Okay. And it's interesting to me the complex and the behavior you see out of people. Okay. Um, what I see is when people start to point out things they don't like in other people, it may be a reflection, not always, but maybe a reflection of things they don't like about themselves. Okay. If you are looking at a non skeptical, very subjective, hobbyist, and you looking at that like that's not what I want to be at all, you're going to find people like that and point them out because you don't want to be that. You don't want people to view you to be that. So you're not going to be that at all costs, and you're going to point your finger at other people and call them out for being that and try not to be that yourself. So that's in general what I see. Okay. You know, I'm not a ghost hunter. I'm a paranormal researcher, you know. So it seems like let's call the paranormal investigator is the right and the ghost hunter is the left. Okay. The right has more of a problem with the left. Okay. They pass judgment on those who just seek to do it for fun, who are less critical when they investigate. They think everything's a ghost. They think, dust, photographed dust are spirits, all those things. Okay. So it's the right trying to be very critical on the left, point the fingers, and judge. Okay. Now, me personally, it's semantics to me. Okay. Yes, there is a difference on your methodologies and your approaches. But as far as labeling goes, I want to stress and convey that it's just a name that people give you. Your work will speak for itself. You can call it dog shit. You can call it science. It doesn't matter what you call it. It is what it is, in my opinion. And that's I'm trying to not play the fence here like Scott told me not to tonight. But I want to guys give you my genuine opinion because I look at both sides and I don't have a problem per se. Now, when people do the ghost hunting, they're on the left, but they claim that they're on the right. They claim that they're paranormal investigators. Then I'm going to have some type of judgment with them. I mean, if you're going to be straight up and honest, know what you are. Okay? If you try to apply science and critical thinking, objectivity, and skepticism to your paranormal work, let it convey in your work. Let that show and reflect to everyone. Okay? You're going to start off, on a lower level and you're going to grow, you're going to learn, and you're going to, get better with everything you do. Little by little, each and every day, each and every year, you're out there doing your work, you'll get better. So you kind of want people to see that. But people are going to take snapshots of your work. They're only going to see it for a moment. If they see, even for a moment, that you slip up under their radar, okay? If you put something out there that's questionable, if you, use methodologies or behavior that liken to ghost hunting or the far left of the paranormal research field, then there's going to be people out there pointing fingers, japping their jaws and saying stuff. Okay. So that is what it is. You're going to ruffle some feathers. You might hurt some feelings. You might irritate the shit out of people. But in the end, you do what you want to do. Okay. There is no standardization or authority in the paranormal field, and it's not like you're in charge of something, very important, that your methodologies and your fashion of paranormal researching is not going to affect anyone. but it's not going to help the parafield progress and grow. So that's, I think, the general census of everybody. They want to see the parafield grow. They want to see it. Um, they want to see it taken more seriously in the scientific community and the popular culture. They just want to. They take it serious. Now, me, I take it very serious. Yes, we have fun when we go out and do things, but I try to get better. I try to be very critical. I try very hard, and I take it seriously. So, with all that being said, I'm going to go back and see if there's any questions or any comments that needs to be addressed before we move on. But at this point in the road, it's all semantics, really. But what we're really doing is the people on the far right are trying to legitimize what they do by pointing the fingers at the people who don't help them legitimize what they do or the paranormal field in general. Okay, so we'll back over the guest stream. We'll go with Jess first on YouTube since this show is brand new live on YouTube for the first time. Okay, so she's saying that if you're going to call yourself a paranormal researcher, that's a more general term, not a specific term. Okay, fair enough. I think that when you see someone's work and it's specifically like life after death research, haunted buildings, people who have, you know, claims of haunted places, houses, or businesses, and you go and investigate them, calling yourself a paranormal researcher does fall within that realm. But, you know, if it's within the description of your work that you specifically target that, I don't usually have a problem. But if people like very detailed labels on people, then I understand that. Anything else, Jess? Well, let me. Yeah, I see. I clicked the wrong button. Sorry. Read the question over again. I hit the wrong button. I know. I just got told. Right. Like I said before, and I'm sorry I clicked the wrong button, guys. I'm looking at 3 monitors right now and running 2 live streams. So, like I said, some people like specific labels, and that irritates them. You know, how people identify and describe who they are means something different, can mean something different to some group of people, and it doesn't matter. It's a spectrum of how people see other people's work when they put their stuff out there. So, um, okay, I have you unmuted now, so I don't know why they can't. Um, Let us know if you still can't, if you still can't hear Jess. All right, let me turn my volume up on this. Why they can't? Let us know if you still can't. If you still man, I don't know why we can't. Go ahead and talk for me, Jess. You're coming through strong here. I got technical help, Christy. Hold on a sec, folks. Sorry, we're going to try to troubleshoot this audio issue. Let's see if we can hear Missy. Missy, can you try to talk for me? Hold on a sec, folks. Sorry. Let's see if we can hear Missy. This audio issue. Let's see if we can hear Missy. Missy, can you try to talk for me? No. Hold on a sec, folks. Sorry. Let's see if we can hear Missy. This audio issue. Let's see if we can hear Missy. Missy, can none of you guys have any volume. That sucks. Okay. Let's see what I can do here. That really burns me. Okay. Hmm. I think we lost the Facebook live stream for a second. Well, no, I'm still streaming here. I'll just go off of this. Sorry, guys. I'm going to troubleshoot the live audio issue and see if we can get that fixed. I want to try calling you guys back, okay? We'll try to call them back. See if we can. That fixes it. Let me click all these boxes and see if that matters. It shouldn't, but we're going to see if it does. Okay, let me try calling them again. There we go. Sorry, guys. This really. Alright, we'll start again here. Let me get my phone here and see if this works. Just really talk for me.
Hello. I'm here.
Okay, we're testing it now. I'm waiting for the delay. Let me get my phone here and see if this works. Just really talk for me. Okay, we can hear you now. Alright, for some reason, it was Google Hangouts that was doing it. Alright, Jess, we're going to resume.
Okay. All right. For the third time. Haunted in Life said, also, I don't like when people call themselves paranormal researchers, but shy away from other types of paranormal things besides spirits.
Right, okay. Some people want them to be more descriptive about what they do, and some people don't care. That is very interesting and something to consider. So that is very useful information because I'm sure there's other people out there that feel the same. Keep on going, Jess.
I think that's about it. Truth Paranormal said this topic kind of sorts of a set of fire under my ass, and that's about it.
Did he say why?
No.
Okay. Okay.
That'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah, Joe, let us know why you think that. We'll get back to you, Jess. Missy,
Sure.
do you have anything on your end?
Oh yeah, I got a lot. Michael Diddy Jr. said he loves this. He said love it. Um, Paul Browning said let's debate the validity of ITC.
Repeat that.
He said let's debate the validity of ITC.
That's not the topic for the show.
Right? He said ghost hunters are not really as concerned with the research side as much as the para researchers.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, well, that got scrambled. Bill Davis also said Justin has the psych part right on.
The what part?
The psych.
Psych. P. Starting with the P, psych?
Yes.
Okay.
Dale Leonard's on. It's mostly just talking amongst themselves.
Okay. If you have any specific questions for me, that's great. We're not going to shout out all the comments or read all the comments out loud, but Jess or Missy, this is going to get confusing. Let me know who's on the chat and Facebook, and we'll shout them out.
Paul and Bill and Diana and Christy and Dale.
Is that it?
Yep.
All right, Jess.
All right, we have Anthony Bozard. Sorry if I pronounce your guys' names. Glenda from Australia. We have Josh Bender, Haunted in Life, Truth Paranormal, John Cool.
Hey, John, what's up? What's up, everybody?
And I'm sorry if I missed. I'm trying to go it over really fast, but Truth Paranormal actually commented again. Right now, I'm dealing with a guy who claims to be a paranormal investigator, but everything is haunted. Even even talking smack out the science that goes into what we do. He says it's hard to get into details on the chat. So
I understand.
sure.
So he's dealing with somebody, having a debate with somebody, and that happens. That's why I love this show. It gets into people's opinions, my opinion, and that's why we try to iron them out and see what people think and see how we can influence each other, learn from each other, and become stronger. But we'll
Sure. Oh,
go ahead.
I have another one.
Go ahead.
Should paranormal include more than just spirits, Bigfoots, UFOs, and such?
Well, it does. It's all of it's considered kind of like under the Fortean umbrella. But paranormal research has subsets. Okay, and we use paranormal investigator as a really general term. People who like some type of descriptive subset name for what you do to kind of advertise and be very clear about what you do. So that is something to consider when you're putting your work out there, for sure.
There is a question.
Go ahead.
Haunted in life. Do you notice a difference in the tools used between ghost hunters and investigators?
Yes. My opinion is there's a lot of false positive. I have ran into a lot of gadgets and equipment out there that give you a lot of false readings. That seems to be very popular in TV shows, paranormal pulp culture, and abroad. All that trickles down into the hands of everybody out there that are trying to do what's right. And when you don't research and learn about what you're using, everything about what you're using, if you're using your phone, know everything about it. Try to know everything about it. That way, you will know if it's going to cause problems. It's going to give you false readings. You're going to be able to develop hypotheses that are a lot better knowing everything about your equipment and your devices. That is very, very key. So yes, I do notice a lot of people using a lot different equipment when they're doing the ghost hunting.
Sure.
Anything else?
Actually, John Cool just commented, look at the equipment and see how they use it and how much they jump up and down and claim it as evidence. I think you just touched base on that.
Yes, they're very eager. Like the ghost hunter is very eager. As my skeptic on my team famously said in this last documentary that we did, and I like to interview him, what he said in the interview, thus the topic being on the show today. People are hungry and very urgent to find something. When they're searching for it, they're desperate almost, and some people are very desperate. So anything that will immediately or seemingly legitimize and validate what they believe is paranormal is good. A blinky light, a voice on a device, anything. And now if you're sitting in an abandoned house, someone's residence, in a creepy asylum, and you're in there for 3 days and you hear crickets and nothing happens, that's what normally happens. Okay? So you introduce in things that give you stuff. So that is a problem.
I think that's it right now.
Sweet. I will get back to you because I want you guys to keep coming with this stuff because I think this is very important for people to try to find some common ground, right? We need to find common ground, understand where everybody's coming from, respect each other for being people that are trying to do something good. Some people are just trying to have fun. Some people don't care if the paranormal field advances. Some people do. Some people just want to entertain, get views. Some people don't give a crap about entertaining and giving views. Some people like both. Okay? So with all that being said, take a step back. This is my opinion. Okay, guys, take a step back. Look at people as people. Don't look at people just for their shortcomings, just for things that you don't like. Try to find things that you do like. Find some common ground. Because when you're going out there giving constructive feedback, you want to make an impact when you stand up on your soapbox like me tonight and try to find some way to reach somebody, to change their mind, to influence them in a positive way. You have to do it in a way to earn trust and build respect. In every business management class I've ever taken, that is like one of the key things they teach. If you have people below you that you're managing, that you're influencing, teaching, that you want to do what you want them to do, you have to earn their trust and build respect. And there's ways to do that. And there's many different personalities out there that can achieve these things more than one way. But if you're just out there calling people names, calling them stupid, calling them retarded, it's not going to do anything, and you're going to make it worse. So the parafield is just like any other field out there. It's just like any other thing. It's going to make, like politics, for example. Our country is divided, maybe more so than any other time. That's debatable, but it is. Why is that? Because people are angry and people divide themselves. They don't try to find common ground. Now, on this show, I like to play the fence. People think I play the fence because I'm trying to see both sides, respect both sides, bring them together on common ground. So that way, you won't shut your ears to what I have to say. You won't feel like I'm disrespecting you, so you won't disrespect me back. I don't want you to change the channel or click off of this live stream. I want you to listen to the end, subscribe, and listen next time. Okay? And the only way to do that is to make you feel like you are a person, like you are important, like you have a voice, and that you do have some value in what you do in the parafield. So with all that being said, we find a common ground. To me, it does not matter if you call yourself a ghost hunter or a paranormal investigator. All that matters is if you're trying to do the right thing, you're trying to learn, you're trying to grow, and you're trying to impact the parafield in a good way. So everybody has different opinions on how to do that. But in order to try to help find some standard of operation, it's going to take somebody taking the reins, or a group, a community taking the reins and saying, hey, look, you take a photograph with a flash on it, it's going to illuminate airborne particles, you're going to get dust, that's not a ghost, okay? If we can just eliminate that from the paranormal field, where nobody on the face of the planet ever says dust is a spirit again, we have taken a huge leap forward, okay? Everything, every creak, bump in the night, if we stop believing, hey, that's a ghost first, and maybe start seeking other alternative explanations first, that's a step forward. Even if you see something, a light anomaly, a shadow, some shadow play, you want to be very skeptical of what you are seeing. Your mind can play tricks on you. Your eyes can play tricks on you. Your nose can play tricks on you. Your sense of touch can play tricks on you. All your senses can lie to you, play tricks on you. So look into all the subsets of science and exploratory knowledge when it comes to the body and the mind to seek out those alternate explanations, because not everything is a ghost. Not everything you feel, is paranormal. So, in my opinion, the ghost hunter and the paranormal investigator can all find common ground that way, and they won't really care what you call them, because now everybody's putting their paranormal work out there for peer review, and they're all trying to standardize what they do. So that's what I want to stress. That's what I want people to get. I don't feel like if I call at the beginning of the show, if I call myself your friendly neighborhood ghost hunter, I'm not saying that I'm not critical. I'm not saying that I'm not objective or skeptical. I try to be as much as possible. And if anybody's familiar with my work or ever investigated with me, I'd hope they would say the same thing. But they're entitled to their opinion. But I don't want the title I call myself or the name I call myself or the name people give me to really be the end all say all to convey what my work is. Okay, so we'll go back over to the comments, see what's going on over there. Any questions, Jess? Anything standing out to you yet?
Yeah, Bozart asked a question. I'm not an investigator, just a watcher, but do you think more people will use the Ouija board or will not use it?
Because of the change in how people investigate the paranormal or try to experience it. I'm kind of elaborate
Yeah, I'm
on
not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
elaborate on why you think that, and we'll go on see if he
Okay.
comments again.
Truth Paranormal asked the question, and I think I kind of pieced it together. He was having issues with his voice to text.
Mm-hmm.
They noticed that ghost hunters, when they use any type of spirit box, instead of waiting for the answer to the questions that they asked, um, whatever is spit out of the spirits box, they act like it's some kind of communication.
Right. They're not being skeptical, and maybe if they're getting a lot of things coming out of it, they're not shielding it very well, and they're just getting radio frequencies. Now, I know. I think it was Paul Browning that wanted me to debate and talk about yeah, legitimizing. That's not how you say that. Legitimizing. We'll say that the ITC stuff. So we'll talk about it. For example, me specifically, I use a spirit box that you can decouple the antenna. You can use a Faraday pouch. You can use a Faraday cage. You can go into places like underground places to try to shield yourself from stuff. But at the end of the day, you are going to receive some RF. It's impossible or very difficult, rather, to shield it all the way. But if you're getting tons of RF in there, there's really no way that I see people validating those as responses. Now, they think that they can manipulate the radio stations coming in, but so far it's not cutting. It's not cutting it with the skeptical and scientific community. And I started off doing it, and now where I am now is that it's very, very not useful when it comes to ITC field research. Now, I still continue to do it because one time I did get something that I did validate, so I'm trying to replicate, but it happens very rarely. Anything else?
Bozar said, some say the Ouija board is evil and you should not use it. So I guess that was a follow up with what he asked. So
Yeah, a lot of people stray away from things that they think is evil. They'll open themselves up to being harmed or influenced by negative energies. So if you fear the Ouija board, don't use it. If you fear something, don't do it. But people who research things generally try to leave fear at the door, and they do things, not considering how dangerous it is or if they're afraid. Now, if you go into paranormal research fearing something, let it be for a good reason. Okay, if you've seen someone get affected by using the Ouija board, that's one thing. But it's very controversial. Okay, I've used Ouija boards, nothing's happened. I've had other people tell me they use Ouija boards and they've had horrible things happen to them. But that's the thing about the paranormal. It's so hard to tie down what people report versus what actually happened. Okay? The only way you can find out the truth in your reality is to go do it yourself, go observe others doing it, document it, see if you can find explanations for things that do happen. If you ultimately do not find explanations for or rational, natural explanations for things that happen with the Ouija boards, then you kind of put it on the shelf and say, this is potentially paranormal, but we need more data to know. So, Ouija boards are controversial.
I think they're talking amongst themselves. And if you're not, I'm sorry.
Keep asking away. Jess will eventually get to you. We'll go over to Missy and see what Facebook has to say.
Okay.
Okay, Facebook has a lot to say. There are 13 viewers, and Annette Abbott said, as a paranormal investigator, the investigation starts right after the initial phone call. You have to know the properties you're investigating, the history of the property, and the people inhabiting these properties are family, witnesses, or history.
I agree.
Sam Thomas said, it seems to me that they're more trying to get ratings than actual real evidence. And that's her opinion.
I battle with that. Of course, I don't fake anything, and I try. I debunk things all the time, and I'd go through extreme effort to keep tabs on things, don't I, Missy?
Yes.
What do I do with you? I shove cameras I strap them to your body and shove them in your face. Is that
Yes.
not right?
Yes.
So why is that? Why do I do that?
Because then if I whisper, you know I've whispered.
That's right. It's so hard because if you don't have a camera on your face the whole time and you hear something on the recorder, you don't know if it was them. Your memory isn't perfect. You can't remember everything that you said under your breath over a 4-hour investigation or even longer. And if you ask them to remember a month ago or 2 months ago or a year ago, that's going to be even worse, right?
Right.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I try everything I possibly can. Anything else? I'm sure there is.
Dale Leonard said, I don't get when Ghost Asylum makes these ghost traps and they fake them to get back to their compound to put them in a box like on Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm. Well, some people get into that, and it goes back to the last thing you said about views versus actual research. So I put out video production. We just released the old Blackford County Jail documentary. Okay, I want people to see that. I want people to consume that media. I don't want to make it and just let it sit there and no one see it. But at the same time, I want people to see it as real research, as a group of people that are trying to really find answers and tell about the history of places. See if the history of those places tie in or collaborate with what's going on. Okay? That is deeply interesting to me. So there are stories to be told and things to be consumed through media and be investigated as well. So I think you can do both. Like I said at the beginning, but it's difficult.
Right. Annette Abbott said, I would never judge anyone in either field. You are right. We have to respect each other and not attack one another in our own beliefs.
There are pet peeves, right?
Yeah.
One of them I've said before on these shows is if you got a spirit box and you're pretending like you're talking to Kurt Cobain or someone famous through the box the day they died, a week after, a year after, it don't matter. That's just bullshit. So there are few things that really irk me, and people have things that irk them. They could have very less tolerance to things than I do. But it's difficult. But all we can do is try.
Bill Davis said, that's why I like others looking at my stuff. I could blow it off, too, and make a mistake.
We all make mistakes. And that's what's good about peer review, because you got people out there helping you point them out. And you have to be receptive. Now, like it goes back to what I said, the better you point it out, the more respectful you point it out, the more receptive they will be at getting that information, that feedback that we need for in peer review. So that is where things get interesting when it comes to the peer field, the left, the right, people who have, debated each other. It's cool that people have tough skin, but I think that people don't need to be assholes.
Right. Bill Davis said, if you cut off the antennas, it seems to not scan.
Well, it will scan. There's a circuit in the device that makes it scan. But what happens if you remove the antenna to things or decouple it? You can get things called birdies, for example. And what those are internal noises that your radio can make when it's not receiving radio frequencies or carrier waves. And when you're scanning through, those birdies can sound like phonetics and speech. So audio pareidolia will kick in, and you will hear those birdies as, possible paranormal conversation or words coming through. So you need to be careful with the birdies.
Paul Browning said, my mother used a Ouija board all the time when I was growing up. I call bullshit. Nothing bad happened. Nothing supernatural happened.
Right. If nothing happened to you, if you've never seen a ghost, why believe in it? Probably shouldn't. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. If I've never seen a ghost, if I never had any experiences, I wouldn't believe it was real. So that being said, if you haven't had an experience with a Ouija board, I would not close off the possibility that it could happen to someone else. That's the key about being open-minded. It is very easy for people in the parafield to become cynical. Okay? So the best way to go about things is to just not have any feelings about anything in particular at all in the perfect world. If someone said, that, aliens are demons, fallen angels, and you don't believe that crap, that doesn't mean that it's not true. Just because you have no evidence of it or have not seen it with your own eyes or have not experienced it does not mean that you're right. You have no evidence for or against. So I think the best position to have is no position. Just say, well, I don't know until, I have something to investigate or some universal perfect knowledge out there that tells me what everything is and isn't, then I just can't say that it's bullshit. But I don't blame people for doing it because a lot of people just are silly and they ruin that. They ruin that stance that you can take, well, I'm just not going to have a position. Okay? Because people like taking positions. It's part of their nature. Anything else, Missy?
Oh,
Don't read every comment. Any questions?
I'm not. No, not at this point.
If you really, really want your comment read, put it all in caps and make it worth it. But we'll get back to you guys.
Okay, can I say something?
Yes, Jess, absolutely.
Okay. A question came across. Bozart said, so should investigators have boundaries? Things they will not do?
Absolutely. You should not do anything you're not comfortable with doing. If they have something that they want to bring up specifically, go for it. Things that I won't do is, like, for example, I won't go into a graveyard and with a spirit box walk up to some random grave and have a camera on or a live stream running and say, hey, you George L. Smith, are you here? I won't do that. Because that's someone's dead past loved one buried in the ground beneath me, and I think there should be some ethics involved, some, level of respect. Don't, bring up their name. Don't use someone's, gravesite as your paranormal research. I mean, there's boundaries, okay? I'm not one to say that that's wrong. I have gone to cemeteries from time to time and asked for people to say, if you're here, give me your name and see if it's someone here that we can read on their stone. But, it's okay to have boundaries.
Sure. Okay, that was it.
Okay. All right, guys. Really good comments. Good questions. I love that you guys like this topic. I try really hard. We're getting so much support on Patreon now that I've paid for the Restream service to stream on YouTube and Facebook. Now I'm going to start doing it on Periscope too, so maybe the Necromancer will do Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook. That should be exciting, right? We're going to do nothing but read comments and questions the whole time, which is fine. It's all about talking to you guys and seeing what you feel and what you think. And I want to build respect with you guys and earn your trust and learn from you as much as I'm trying to teach you at the same time. Because I think that when I start, becoming very cynical, and I think I know something, I usually end up being wrong. Not usually, sometimes. Let's just say sometimes. I'm very afraid about going, standing up on a soapbox and then shouting out from the mountaintops that I'm right and they're wrong. Because really, no one's an expert. No one knows for sure. Okay. Now, even when you see an orb in a photograph, the probability of that orb being a airborne particle and not a spirit is super duper high. But there is a very, very, very low chance that it's not that. And science, that's all that science does. It gives you a very high probability of something being fact or true or real in an objective way using certain techniques and methodologies, scientific method being a main part of it. But at the end of the day, there is a small chance that you don't know the 100% fact. So leave a little bit room in your head and open-mindedness going that it is possible that it could be other things. Okay, and that's important. I think that is super important for you guys to learn from me if you have not taken that stance, because I know that I'm going to learn. I constantly learn from others. I rely on the internet and what people puts out there, what people puts on YouTube, what people writes in articles. I rely on you guys to learn. I don't only rely on data and stuff I experience in my life and during an investigation. That's not just it. I constantly sponge from people, their conversations on live streams, their articles, their videos, everything. So if you're scrolling through some social media site and you see some stuff and you're normally cynical to it and you normally just pass it off or you close your mind off to it, maybe be a little bit more conscientious about doing that to every single thing. Okay? It's okay to be friends with somebody or respect for somebody that may not be as capable as a paranormal researcher than you. Okay? Because I am friends with a lot of people I think that are as capable, but I still like them. I still respect them. I want to have a relationship with them because I feel like maybe if I feel like I am more capable, maybe I can give them some of my knowledge somehow. Maybe it leak on over to them. Okay? You should not try to compete against the left or against the right. In this case, the ghost hunters. If someone goes on, they have that ghost hunter name across their profile image on Facebook, you shouldn't just roll your eyes. Okay? I friend those people. You want to know why? Because for one, they could be interested in my work. They should be interested in anything I have to offer as far as friendship, because there's opportunities. So at the end of the day, don't get wrapped up on what you call people or what people call you or what people label things. I'm not getting into the huge labeling thing. I wish we could just rip the word ghost hunter and paranormal researcher and paranormal investigator out of everyone's mouths and just called them learners and observers or something that don't label them. Let their work and their methodology speak for what they do. Okay, so the next time you want to maybe rant about this subject or point your finger at somebody, think about why you're doing that. Think about, not only how it makes you feel, but what about what you think you're seeing in them that you don't like about yourself. Now, before we go back to the comments and questions to sum up this show, I want to be perfectly honest with you guys. I make mistakes, okay? Sometimes I let the history and the stuff the tour guide give me or the things I read prior to the investigation influence me. I'm not perfect, okay? I am trying very hard to get things when I go. Spend a lot of money, spend a lot of time, away from our children, away from our wives, away from our husbands. you want to be careful, but everybody, it can happen to everybody. Everybody can, fall short and, think something is not what it is. Okay? So I don't like to ride on that high horse. I like to, kind of lower myself down, make myself humble. One of the most humble people I know is Josh Bender, Jess's boyfriend. Okay? He does not like showboating. He hates it. He despises it. He doesn't want to. He's like very unconfrontational. He doesn't like putting himself out there in the middle of that. And if everybody was like that, we would have less problems getting in the way of what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to do the same thing. So, yes, ghost hunters could be somebody that's not as capable as a paranormal researcher or investigator. But I say it's semantics, okay? People who call themselves ghost hunters can be just as capable or have the same methodology and approach and ability to investigate as any other. Okay, so that is my message to you guys. We'll go back to Jess and Missy. We'll go to Missy first this time. Missy, is there any other comments that you deem worth bringing up or any questions for me?
Well, I have three questions. The first one, I could hear Derek laughing all the way in the other room.
Oh, boy.
It's from Paul Brownie, and he said, would Helen Keller respond to a Ouija board if it was in Braille?
Yeah, that's really insensitive. We will reserve that question when we summon her with a ghost box and can talk to her, Paul. Okay? Maybe you can break out a ghost box, summon her spirit, and ask her if can Braille work on a Ouija board. No, let me Google that. Braille Ouija board. God damn it, Paul.
He also wanted to know, why do people think that ghosts will leave if they smell sage?
Okay, real quick, I'm not seeing any Braille Ouija boards. Wait. The belief behind sage is that all living things have spirits, even plants, and a lot of Native Americans and earlier cultures believe that the spirits that reside within the sage plant cleanse negative energy, both in the living and not. So when you burn things, it releases the spirit energy. The old Western culture and Eastern culture believe the same things. Now, the Eastern cultures, they would write prayers on little slips and throw them in a little burn box and let the smoke rise, and that's how they got their prayers sent to heaven. And, the same kind of ideal involves the sage. You are releasing the energy, spirit, from that plant to act on the energies, whether it be negative, evil, what have you. And that's how it works. It really doesn't have anything to do with smell. For the living, it does. Now, what's interesting about sage, again, is science has discovered that smoke from sage is an antibiotic. It, kills bacteria. So that's interesting. Anything else?
Yeah, he also asked, if a ghost was never religious, would they respond to religious provocation?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't. If they weren't religious or religious, I could say they can or can't respond to it. It's free will. I'm assuming you have free. Sorry, there's gnats flying in my face. There's free will there. So if spirits exist and intelligent entities exist, you walk into a room and you say, "Hey, here I am. Talk to me." They probably don't want to. Especially if there's people in there every day for 20 years in a row asking them to. They probably are ignoring you. So they have that right. Okay, real quick, we will display capture 3. No, go to the right display capture because I want to show the Grail Ouija board. Let's just do this. We're going to block your face real quick. There you go, Paul.
Sounds good to me.
Braille Ouija board. So there you go. She's going to tear that thing up. So if you're blind, you want a Ouija board, it exists. Anything else?
Nope. No more questions.
All right, Jess. Anything from the YouTube community?
I did see things, but I apologize. My phone died because I did not plug it into the wall. So I'm booting it up right now.
Okay. Let's.
I apologize. I'm so sorry. I had everything plugged in, but I forgot to plug it into the wall. Sorry.
No, you didn't.
Sorry.
No, you didn't. Let's see if I can go on there and see what's going on. All right. Cryptids are paranormal too. The only thing that I was saying was, if you're going to call yourself a paranormal researcher, then you should not use your eyes at people who research cryptids. Should not roll your eyes at people that research cryptids. Yeah, I don't. I've never seen a cryptid, but I believe in the possibility that they exist. So I don't. Because, like I said, just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean it's real, or people genuinely don't have those experiences. Those are 33s. So should they investigate? Okay, you've read those. So I'm hoping that was the end. Yeah, that was the end.
Yes, I think so too.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, Jess and Miss C, for helping me tonight. We're doing our first dual live stream, and this is how we're going to be rolling from here on out, unless we have technical issues. Cross your fingers, knock on wood that we don't.
Cell phone's plugged in.
Cell phone's plugged in. Hey, you did fine. Thanks, guys. Everybody give them a round of applause. They didn't get super confused and lost. Too bad. So I appreciate you girls' help. I really do. It would be really sucky, especially tonight, if I didn't have you. So I appreciate you, and I love you guys.
We love you too, Justin.
All right.
No problem.
Okay. So, guys, thank you for watching the show. We are getting a lot of support, and this is how. Okay? Patreon. Look at all these names. Christy, Clay, Matthew, Matt, Danette, Scott, Jessica, RJ, Liz, Bill. It keeps growing. Okay? This is the reason why we're streaming on 2 platforms at the same time now, seamlessly and easily. Okay, so not only does our live streams want to grow, we want to do better at that. These shows, the live streams we do at events, at investigations, behind the scenes, filming documentaries, researching history, paranormal phenomena, all that takes time, energy, and money. Okay, so if you want to see it continue, grow, get better, you can be a part of it. Okay, you get on the credits to our videos, you get shouted out on our live streams. You are just as much a part of this as me, Jess, Missy, all the Interface Death crew. You are all a part of it. So if you want to be a part of this, if you like what we're doing, go to the link in the description of these videos. Go to patreon.com/support Interface Death. Find out what rewards you get back for pledging on Patreon. There's a lot of cool things. Discounts on our merchandise, our documentaries, t-shirts. You get put into a fan club. You get access to exclusive content. There's all kinds of cool stuff. So please consider pledging on Patreon. If not, we appreciate you guys just watching, sharing, liking the video, interacting with me each and every week. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in on YouTube, on Facebook. I don't think I've seen the Facebook comments come in, so it's not going to work through the chat app for Facebook. So that sucks. But we're at least streaming on both platforms. So I got some exciting news. Hold on, let's reach over here and grab these things. I want to show you guys on this live stream what Interface Death has been working so hard on. We got 2 brand new DVDs out. They're Blu-ray, okay? They're full resolution, high definition resolution. You can get these DVDs on our website at www.interfacedeath.net. You can rent them for like $2, I think. You can buy the digital video on our site and watch it as many times you want for a lower cost. I think the DVDs are $15 right now. If you just donate $1 a month on Patreon, you get a $5 discount on the DVDs and other apparel. So I'm very excited. Please go over to the website linked in the description. Check out just rent it and see if you like it. Let me know what you think, of that kind of content we're putting out. There's lots of other free stuff on our website, so you can check all that out as well. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching, tuning in each and every week. Please let people know that I'm doing this. Please know that your comments and your questions are having a positive impact on me. I consider each and everyone's opinion, and you are in my heart. I love you very much, and I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow night on Necromancer, we'll be streaming on Interface Test Facebook page and this YouTube channel. We have Jarrett Osborne, very interesting fellow. Please tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time to watch that. You guys have a good night. Stick around for the video promotions. As always, I will see you next time.
Wow, everything just got